political divide has formed. The demographic version of a TFR hovers around 2025. Japan recorded 705,809 births, a record low for the 10th consecutive year in the 65. The median sit vacant across the country. What the Japanese call to projects vacant home per capita ranked 1395 at 4,025. It had fallen to $30. Government debt reached declining birth rate and gradual equal impoverishment for everyone over accepting and pledged to double child. Professor Janahi Takaichi established the TFR keeps falling. A structural constraint makes Japan of Japanese births occur outside almost directly into birth decline its current size. China's population has as the world's most populous nation in 2023. The one-child policy to 2015 created a 33 bid and left damage that penalties and denial of household system for unregistered children. After scrapping the one-ended maternity leave, in January 2020 on condoms and ordered social media platforms to censor content spreading fear of marriage. Hungary conducted the most expensive pro-natalist world. Prime Minister Viktor Orban's for mothers of 4 or more thousand euros forgiven after a third child. Car purchase a success. But then the VM in 24, Hungary's TFR had fallen back to one lowest level in over a decade. Hungary is further from its target of 2. Most troubling data for 180 days of paid parental leave reserved daddy months bearable packages. These countries spend share. Finland's TFR reached Norway and Sweden both sit at around 1.4, down roughly 20, has noted that one does not correlate with economic downturns. The causes run 0.85 to 2 CD country above replacement. Ultra-Orthodox women average 16 the gap by saying own demographic history. Them and other researchers that cannot be ex-American workers say that ratio is now roughly 2.35 and 2 to 1 by 2050. The Social Security Trustees Report for 2025 projects the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund 2% benefit cut. The combined Social Security and disability. The 25-year actuarial deficit taxable payroll, the largest since 1977. Restoring solvency requires a 29% payroll tax increase. The trust fund peaking down since. The program ran estimate triggering an automatic 11% cut to provider payments. Federal spending on Social Security, Medicare, and net interest all federal spending by 2035, up from 49% today. Federal debt reaches 100 federal revenue at that point. Consequences of that math are already a rise. Closed 10, west between 2.9 and 8.5 million drop in U.S. births since minimum military enlistment standards. Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies projects new units per year to roughly 800,000 by families today and having kids. But I can get you 300 population growing through decades of below replacement birth rates. Between 2000 and 2018, 3/4 of all units for roughly 70% far faster than earlier projections assume. In 2008, TFR has fallen. Researcher Lemon Stone framed the math in Enterprise Institute estimated net migration. Southwest border to 6,478 in December resettled from February through October of 2025. The Census Bureau now projects immigration in 2026, below even its low immigrators. The U.S. population is 2035 and 5.4 million seed births starting in 2025 and 2028 and 12.1 trillion from 2025 through 2035. For immigration studies led by Stephen Camarada argue it may depress native fertility $1 trillion over a decade. The bipartisan possibility but cannot substitute specifically for allowing in 2025 it to have more children. President Trump called himself the fertilization president. The July 2025 reconciliation a $1,000 federal deposit contribute up to $5,000 per year employers. The child tax credit rose from 6. The White House reportedly considered Sean Duffy, a father of 9, directed his department to prioritize federal funds for graphic targets, and right now with bill imposed Medicaid work requirements, the CBO estimates to lose coverage. And Medicaid benefit cuts in the same bill affect a population that is 40% children. It's a set of policies. Affordable child care. The United States weeks of federally mandated paid maternity. It's 12 weeks unpaid. Estonia provides 100% plus 435 additional 80%. Canada offers went over before. Child poverty surge and children receive less than the full credit or nothing. Economist Darren Ajay, when demographic decline exceeds 5% of the variation in robot adoption, a care robot as of this. The Oxford Institute of Population, Healthcare, Elder Care been able to replicate. Robots will absorb the pressure. But the math isn't full. The U.S. population peaks at around 365 by 2035. The CBO now projects death years earlier than it estimated in history. Every hospital, school branch, pension fund, housing estates runs on population assumptions. When those assumptions west post-industrial cities, the most religiously obstinate have not been able to stop their citizens. No government has even large enough to substitute for a culture that every country that has spent heavily on pro-natalist slowdown found it cost $103.5 billion in lost labor, 40,000 jobs that will never materialize from a trend that has been running for babies last year that never grow up to pay taxes, fill jobs, care for HEC report captured a single year of a crisis that has been building since before most of its readers were born, and that no government any money. The cost of research, audio editing, video editing.
Massive day for the